What's up, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving a review for the film Beauty and the Beast. Now this is a live action adaptation of the 1991 Disney animated film. So the look of the film is very similar to that animated film, you know. You have like the production design, the values of it is very true to how the actual animated film from 1991 looked at, you know. So I thought that was kind of cool and awesome, you know. And I think this is the I think the third one. I know they did Cinderella, and I know they did the Jungle Book, which is pretty good, but I didn't get to see Cinderella. But this is yet another live action adaptation of a classic Disney animated film, because I know they have more on the way, like I think like The Little Mermaid, I think Aladdin, Mulan, Dumbo, all those kind of films I hear are on the way, you know, as well. So yeah, this is my review for Beauty and the Beast. Now, first of all, this film has like an all-star cast. You have like Emma Watson, you have Dan Stevens, Kevin Kline, Ewan McGregor, Stanley Tucci, Ian McKellen, Emma Thompson. You have like a bunch of like all-stars in this film, you know, so I thought that was kind of cool. Now, Emma Watson herself, she plays like the main protagonist of the film, Belle. Now, of course, Emma Watson, she plays Belle, and eventually Belle becomes trapped in this like enchanted castle by this like fearsome beast. But later on, you know, it turns out that the beast isn't so like fearsome. You know, he kind of is kind of gentle when he wants to be, but at first he is like aggressive, like a mean, and like, you know, like just rough and everything, you know. But eventually, you know, it turns out that he's not really, you know, that way. You know, there's like a past incident that happened to him which caused him to be like a beast, you know, which they touch on throughout the film, and we all know, like, you know, what happened to him as well. And you also have Kevin Kline in the role of Maurice, who is Belle's father. Now you get to see like a little backstory of what's going on with them, you know, like supposedly his wife is dead, and you do kind of get to see like situations where you see like Belle, like her mother when she's like dying and so on. So it's just basically Maurice who's looking after Belle, and that explains how the film becomes like what it is. Because what happens, I think, is Maurice, he goes off in search of like flowers or roses or something like that, but then he gets attacked by like these like wolves or like coyotes, and that's when he ends up at the castle by the, you know, with the beast, you know. And that's how he meets the beast and so on. And then later on, Belle herself, she tries to find out what happened to her father. She sees his horse return. So she then pursues the horse, and the horse takes her to the castle where her father has been imprisoned by the beast, you know. So she decides to like switch places with her father. So the beast puts her inside the prison, you know, and lets her father, you know, get away. So then that's what the plot of the film is about. Belle is trapped in this castle, and then at the same time she becomes like close to the beast, you know. She grows and to like him, and like, you know, and so on. And she turns out that he's not really like aggressive, like rough like person, you know. He's an actually okay and gentle being, you know, even though he looks like he does, you know, and stuff, you know, but he's actually like a nice, easygoing person once you get to know him. Now when the film opens, you get to see like a little origin of what happened to the beast himself. He was formerly like a prince, and I don't think he has a name, played by Dan Stevens. Now this prince, he's like kind of like sarcastic and stuff. He's like very like, you know, what's the word for it? He just like kind of almost like not really evil, but he's kind of like a nasty type person, you know. He looks down on people and so on. And because of this, you know, like this enchantress, like this woman known as, I think, the enchantress, she casts the spell on him, which turns him to like this hideous looking beast. Plus she turns like a lot of his like main service, not everybody, but like his main service, it's like like objects, like a teacup, like a candle, like a clock, you know, and like other stuff too, like drawers, like shift runs and stuff, you know. So all of them are casting a spell because of like the prince's like evil like type actions. He's not really evil, but you know, the thing that how nasty he can be and so on, you know. You know, like the typical kind of like villain, you know. Now, when you see him as the prince, like the beast, when he's actually in his prince mode, he's played by Dan Stevens. And if I'm not mistaken, Dan Stevens does still provide the voice of the beast, because the beast himself, when we actually do get to see him, and whenever he's on screen, he's like fully like CGI, and it's a cool looking effect, you know. It is like very close to like the actual animated film. And now at times, you know, you can tell that it's like a CGI effect. At times you could tell it's like a CGI effect, but it still like holds up well, and it looks awesome, you know. They did a good job on it, from my opinion. Like the visual effects of it, it's cool. Now the antagonist of the film is Gaston. He's played by Luke Evans. Now at first he seems like a okay character, you know. he has an interest in Bill. He wants to marry her and so on. But it turns out that he really is like the main villain in the film because like a conflict happens like towards like midpoint of the film with him and Maurice. And I guess if you've seen like the animated film, you would notice, you know. I've seen it too, by the way. I saw it. Like it's been so long since I've seen it, but I did see like the actual 1991 animated film from Disney. I did get to see that. It's just been so long, you know, since I've seen it. But his character Gaston, Luke Evans, he's actually the protagonist of the film, you know, and I'm not going to spoil it if you've never like seen this or if you've never seen the animated film, you know, but he is like actually the antagonist of the film. But he starts out to be kind of like, you know, not too bad, you know, you would think he would be a guy that would like make a turnaround or something like that, but later on he does commit actions which definitely justify him as being like the villain or the antagonist of the film itself. Now another major plot point of the film is the idea that if the prince, he can actually break the spell of being cast as this beast, you know, he can actually break this spell, you know, and return everything to normal, but he has to actually fall in love with like a woman, and the woman herself has to fall in love with him before like the petals on a flower like completely fall apart, because throughout the film you get to see the flower and each petal like I guess you could say a leaf falls from it, you know. So if you actually be able to find like, if he can find like a woman that he can fall in love with, and she has to fall in love with him in return, like the spell of him being like the beast will be broken and he'll return to like human form. Plus like his servants too, they'll return to like their normal like human form too, you know, they won't be like a candle, like Luminaire, I think that's how he says his name, like the clock and so on, you know, they will all turn back to their normal selves. Now this film is full of like musicals, like the typical like Disney film. Is like a lot of songs throughout the film, and I'm not really a big fan of like musicals. You know, some of the songs are like cool, and I do like some of the songs. You know, but I'm not really too like big on like musical type films. You know, now I'm a fan of music, but I'm just like far as like films go with all the singing and all, like when they just break out into songs, I've never really been like too big of a fan of that. But it's okay, you know, and they have tons of them throughout this film. You know. But like another thing though, in the end, I thought this is pretty good. Like the look of the film, like the castle itself, like the production values, it looks very closely to like the 1991 animated film. So I thought they did a good job with that. Like the visual effects were like cool too as well. Like the look of the beast. Like I said, at times you can tell that it really is CGI, but at times it does like still look real good. Like the visual effects of the beast himself, plus like some of the other characters too, like the Canada, I forget what his name is, who is played by Ewan McGregor, where he provides the voice of it. And like the clock and so on, you know, I thought they did like a good like visual, you know, a visual design on those too as well, you know. And I still think Lumiere was like the standout character of the bunch, you know, and he's played by, like I said, Ewan McGregor. Well, Ewan McGregor provides the voice of him. But I thought he was like the standout, you know, he's like the candle, like he has like two candles and like the candle on his head. Like his visual effects are awesome, you know, like when he's dancing or singing or just talking, I thought he looked real cool, you know. Plus the clock too as well, you know, but I'm not gonna touch on all of them because there's so many like characters and like people, you know, like throughout the film, you know, so I wasn't touching everything. But other than that, you know, I thought at first it kind of started off with a slow pace, you know, and I thought Emma Watson, she was cool as Belle, you know, when she's singing and stuff like that. At times she does have this look about her, you know, like, you know, well, I don't know if she was like aggravated or anything, you know, or upset, you know, but she just has this look about her at times throughout the film. It's okay, but I thought she was pretty good in the role of Belle, you know, and I thought Luke Evans as Gaston, I thought he was pretty cool. You know, he played an interesting like villain in the film. And I thought Kevin Kline's role as Maurice, Belle's father, his role, it felt like it was kind of like limited. Like he didn't really have too much to say or do, you know, but it was still pretty cool. Though he did a good job, in my opinion. And the other standout ones are like Miss Potts. She's like a teapot that talks and stuff. She also has like a son too as well. Kind of Emma Thompson provided her voice. I thought she was like a cool standout character, you know. Then you have Cogsworth, who is voiced by Ian McKellen, and he's like the actual like clock, you know. I thought he's pretty cool too. But for my opinion, Lumiere, the candle, and the teapot, you know, Miss Potts, they were like really like the standout of the bunch, you know, except other than like Beast and so on, as far as like the CGI type characters go. Now I know it's been like controversial that they feature a character here that's supposedly like gay, and it's I think LaFoy, I think that's how he says his name. He's played by Josh Gad. Now his character, you do get to see little like signs that you know that we do believe that he's gay and stuff, because you get to see him like looking at other men and he's dancing with them and so on like that. And I heard there's been like controversy behind that, you know, because from what I'm hearing, they actually like banned that in certain countries, like they cut out the scene or something like that from what I've been hearing. But I thought he was okay. He was kind of funny, you know, because he's always with Gaston, you know, who's played by Luke Evans. Those two are always like normally together, you know. Now this film, Beauty and the Beast, is directed by William Bill Condon. And I know he directed the last two installments of the Twilight film series, and I think like other highly acclaimed films too as well, you know. But anyway, he's the director of this film. But yeah, in the end, I thought Beauty and the Beast, I enjoyed this. It was pretty good. But like I said, I'm not really like a fan of like musical type films, you know. That's why a lot of these I did avoid like in my past, as far as like the animated films. But I've seen a lot of them, but like a lot of them I did avoid, you know. Because I'm not too big on all that, the singing and stuff like that, you know. I mean, it's cool and I'm okay with it, like, and some of the songs I do like, but I'm just not too big on that kind of a thing, you know. But yeah, Beauty and the Beast, I would recommend this for like fans of like the 1991 animated film from Disney, or if you're just a fan of like Disney films in general, you know. And plus, you know, that they're turning all of them into like live action films too now, anyway, you know. So who want to look at this, you know? But yeah, Beauty and the Beast, I'm aiming at giving this a B minus, and I would highly recommend it, like I say, you know. So yeah, that's my review for Beauty and the Beast, and I'll catch y'all later.